Good morning, good morning, good morning. And you know what time it is? It's time for Conversations with Renee. And I say this every time, y'all. I have great conversations because I know great people. And you know what? I'm getting to know this person. So now that he gonna laugh at that, y'all, here, because that can go so many ways, y'all. But you know how I am. I'm friendly. I speak to people. I'm amicable because I think that sunshine needs to be in the world, even if it's cloudy, right? We've got a lot of negative things going on. But if you just give somebody a smile, be friendly to somebody, you never know. You can then win yourself a friend. And that's what happened. So herein lies the story, y'all. Herein lies the story. So I needed some help with my car. I couldn't get my oil cap off, right? And the last person that put it on too daggone tight. Now, listen, I love operating in my feminine energy, right? Not a damsel in distress, but my feminine energy. So I pull up to this place and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go in here and ask these workers. But I see this guy standing outside, y'all. So I was like, okay, excuse me, sir. Did I do it like that, TJ? Did I say, excuse me, sir?
A little bit like that.
I can't. I'm like, excuse me, can you help me get my gas cap off? So he came over there. And is this a true story, TJ? I'm like, I don't know. Your shirt got some stuff on it and might want to keep me away. I don't know if I want to talk.
Yeah, that pretty much that sums it up.
But all in all, he helped me with my gas cap. And guess what, y'all? We had great conversation. And I want to let y'all in on that conversation. He shared with me what he does. And his name is TJ, y'all. So TJ is now my new out the box, unbox daily friend that, we just kicking it, right, TJ?
Yep.
So listen, tell him what you do.
I'm a chemical technician, chemical operator for short. We mix chemicals to make a product, kind of like making a cake to sum it up simply.
And see, when he said that, I was like, oh, a chemical operator. So let's just go here. How many times, y'all, do we really think about a melanated man in chemistry? Like we don't. We think some scientists, we think, the caucus individuals and things of that nature. So that's what interests me because I asked him how many young men, how many African American, black, melanated men are in your field. And TJ, what you tell me?
At the company I'm with now, there's quite a few, but when I was in Alabama, the company it had very few African Americans working in that field.
Yeah. And so, like, so you said you mix things together to create something? Because
Yes.
science was never my, I'm gonna tell you something, TJ. Science was really never my subject. I went to cosmetology school and I was like, I've been doing hair for a long time. And I'm like, oh, I can whip you up, I can hook you up and all that. When it got to the sciences of mixing chemicals for color and all that, I was like, I ain't come here for that. I just wanted to learn how to do styles. I'm like, I just don't equate chemistry with the African American community. So,
Well, technically, to be honest, science was never my strong suit anyway. And
wow.
yeah, you is like I said, it's real simple. It's like baking a cake. We have a bad sheet, has all the materials on it, and you just really follow the instructions. It's not hard, and a lot of the things are animated, so you're really pushing a button. And they're trying to make it more animated. But I've worked at some companies where we've had to measure ourselves, but it's not as hard as you think. You just have to pay attention to what you're doing.
So what is it that you make? And then my second question is, if it's like that, do you think that that's a job that they'll try to like fully make an AI position?
I don't think they're going to make it AI. It's going
Oh,
to always need one operator.
I love it. Okay, okay, because we got to keep those kind of positions around that will keep humans. But go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're trying to make it to where it's less human interaction as possible, but there's that one element that you have to make sure everything's running. So they're going to need at least one human operator. But
Hmm.
um, what I actually make at this plant, we actually make the treatment for treated wood.
Oh wow. Okay. And that now that's something I want you to go further, please. But wood, we use such materials in so many things. I mean, from building houses to making furniture to, you know what I'm saying, designer things. Wood is in a lot of things.
Yeah, and the product that we make, we just make the base, and then we ship it to different companies, and they do whatever they need to do. Like the last company I worked for, we made resin, and the resin was used for tapes, the granite tops for countertops,
Hmm.
and the bottom of boats. So we just make the base product, and it goes out to different companies, and
Hmm.
then they kind of make what they need.
Okay.
So
And see, this is the thing now. Is this something that somebody would have to go to school to do?
no, it
Okay.
fell in my lap. I worked in a warehouse for a company, and one of the managers liked my work ethics and told me, "Hey, we finna start hiring. You need to go to the unemployment line, go to the VA rep, and put an application in." And I knew him. He had my application pulled.
Hmm.
If you ask him, he wouldn't tell you that. But it's just weird. They called me asking me, was I 18 or older? Yeah, I know I checked that box. The VA rep checked that box, but they're saying that I didn't check it, and they pulled my app and was gonna start throw it away. So I think he had my app pulled, but this job actually felt well. This field fell in my lap. I worked in the warehouse. I did warehouseman in the military, so you don't have to go to school for it. But if you do, it's a whole lot more money.
Right. And so it sounds like something then you could also kind of go to a trade school because I always say this, even to my oldest child who passed away. He went to college and he went to North Carolina A&T, then he came back home to Baltimore, he went to Coppin, and very academic. I mean, he was already on a 12th grade level in the 4th grade, but he was just like, my college is not for me. And I was like, then drop out. He was like, huh? You're not going to be mad? Absolutely not. College is not for everybody. But when you kind of know what you want to do, then you can either go to trade school to hone in on the skills, or you just carve out your pathway to make yourself visible in that field. So, like you said, you can go ahead and get it done. But you just said something that I don't think a lot of people use to the best of its ability, right? You said what go down to the unemployment. It's places like that have jobs posted that people can kind of go and look at, and they want to fill them because they're connected somehow with their labor and like with the unemployment. So they like look to give those kind of jobs out. I don't think people know that much.
Yeah, well, that and Indeed. I use Indeed a lot. I get a lot of hits off of Indeed. I've been in this field, I want to say about 15 years.
Hmm.
I've been warehousing for, well, I've been driving a forklift longer than that. So they look at my experience, and I get a lot of hits off of Indeed, but sometimes word of mouth works better
Yeah.
because a lot of people find out about different jobs just having conversations with people.
You know, whoa, now that right there, wait, TJ, that right there, you just said something. Having a conversation with people, which pretty much got us to this point, us having a conversation, right? You never know who has what, who's connected to a part of your purpose, your destiny, your journey, if you don't have a conversation with people.
Well, everything happens for a reason. So you someone's put in your life for a reason. You have to take the time to at least say something to them to figure out what that reason is.
Absolutely. And that's what I always say, when people come on and they're like, oh, well, what's the questions for the interview? And I'm like, I really don't have interview questions because I want to have conversation because we kind of lose the art of just having a conversation. And throughout conversation, you gave me some information that I was like, oh, I need to follow up. Like, I needed to talk to you today. So you are exactly right. Like, when you just open up your mouth and have conversation with people, right? Like, just organic conversation, no ulterior motives, not, you know what I'm saying, nothing manipulative, just a pure, genuine conversation. We kind of lose that a little bit.
Well, I think you had an ulterior motive. You needed that cap
You
off.
know what? Well, look, that's what draw you to. That's what drew you to me. But the conversation went way beyond just the oil cap. You know what I'm
It
saying?
did. It did. It did.
And so I'm like, and that's a good thing. And what tripped me out though, you are so hilarious. And we're talking about a little bit about, single and being out here. And you just kept tripping me out like, yeah, you ain't gonna find nobody in Atlanta. You know that Candy husband, what's his name? I can't even think of his name, but he wrote that movie, Don't Bring Your Man to Atlanta. Oh my goodness. So yeah, absolutely. But I really do. Like I said, I really am grateful for meeting great people. And, a lot of us have a lot of stories, right? And the stories either go untold or unheard. So I use, my conversations for people to get information, to be inspired, to be uplifted, to be impacted by somebody they may otherwise never run into. But listening to the station, you get good information from these people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I allow it to be a platform also for people to, you know, put out what they're doing. Because again, it's exactly what you said, is who you talk to and who you know. And I don't believe in networking though. I don't. I believe in divine alignment. Networking is just like I'm rubbing shoulders with people, but I don't make no relationship or no connection. And that for real for me is a little bit of manipulation. Like you said, if I only was like, hey, do my gas cap, that's it. I used you for your ability, but I didn't actually see you for a person and have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? And so
Exactly.
I always look at it like this too. I'm like, when it comes down to my purpose and who I am in God, I'm like, nobody can ever say when they stand before the Lord and say, well, I never had an opportunity to blah, blah, blah. He will always say, if you ran into my servant Renee, she gave you some kind of opportunity to do something. And I think we need more people like that anyway, because that's how we're going to remain and stand strong and not be divided.
True, true.
You know what I mean? So you told me it's a few things you do. So I mean, you on the platform, you might as well, this your time. This your time to shine, right? So bring people to what you do, TJ, because you don't just, you're not a, listen, I'm getting ready to be smart. You're not a chemical engineerist, specialist, strategist.
Chemical operator.
You know
Chemical
what?
operator.
So what? Oh, smooth operator. That's what you smooth
Yeah,
operator.
that too in my spare time.
So tell them what else you got going on though. So if you trying to put some business out and get some of this advertisement and promo in the conversation, hey, I open a platform for you to do it.
Well, I appreciate that. I also sell cars. We have a used car lot in Alabama.
Hmm.
We get our cars from the auction here. We do not finance.
Okay.
Make sure I say that because everybody comes, well, do you take this down? And no, we do not finance. Buy
Mhm.
here, pay here.
Okay.
We do our best to find you the best vehicle so you don't have to come back saying we sold you a lemon.
Hmm.
We try to be reasonable because we make our money when you come back to buy you a car, your kids a car, you tell your friends, your neighbors, or your coworkers. That's how we make our money. We're in good business. And I'm actually trying, well, I'm not trying, I'm
I love
working on
that.
starting a trucking company.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it for right now.
Okay. All right. Look. Okay. You gave us a little bit there. I only let them in on a little bit of our conversation anyway. But I said I liked what you just said because you said I'm trying and then you stopped. A lot of times, okay, so I have this phrase. If you trying, you lying, right? You either gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. And I say that because psychologically, we really mess our own self up with going, I'm trying to do this. Because when you don't do it and you fail, some people take on the title of I'm a failure or take on the characteristic is of that I'm a failure. So I tell people all the time, especially it started with me, in my own home. I used to tell my kids, they're like, Mom, what I'm trying to do, but no, no, no. Don't try to do it. Just do it. And then don't say that you're going to do something. Just do it. You see what I'm saying? And then people will recognize what you're saying. I mean, what you're doing. But when we tell people, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to get this, and it never comes to pass, people are now looking at us, even though it's not about people, but people will start looking at us like, hey, they always saying they doing this, they going to do that. They don't never do nothing. So now they have a specific projection of you or their perception of you is jaded by really what you said, and you didn't even realize you was meaning any harm. You was just talking.
Yeah. I tell my son something similar. We don't start anything we don't finish. Whatever
Mhm.
we start or we put our mind to, we do it. So, and he's been following that. Anything he says he wants to do or accomplish, he does. He wanted to try school, he went to it. He didn't like it. He's going to the military. So,
You somewhere in the military too.
yeah, he's gonna go to the Air Force.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, my son wanted to go to no, I take that back. My my daughter wanted to go to the Air Force. And I was like, dang, I had two sons before you. Why you want to be the one to go into the armed forces? And but you know what? If a child has a plan, and this is just, me, I don't know how everybody else parent or whatever, but it's me. I always told my children, have a plan. If you have a plan and you can speak out that plan and you bring it to that, guess what? I support you on it, right? But if you come to me haphazardly with a whole bunch of junk that you just kind of threw up in the air, nope, I'm not. But she had a plan. She said she was going to go into the Air Force and get ranked and everything because she wanted to go into like law enforcement. And she was like, Ma, I can come out, and then, be ranked and be in a higher position to do what I want to do. And I was just like, well, you know what? She had researched it, got the information, all of that stuff or whatever. I mean, she
That's
changed her
good.
mind and,
That's
but she had a good plan and she's still on
mhm.
that plan. She just kind of cut the military part out. Then again, you know what, TJ? I mean, she hasn't talked about it, but I can't say she maybe fully cut it out, but she didn't go when she planned to go. But she's still on a great path, though.
I think the military or college is good for anyone after they graduate high school for that life experience
Hmm.
because a lot of people never leave their hometown or their state.
That's true.
Once you join the military or go to college, you get to see different cultures, interact with different people you may never have met. So you learn different things. So it's not just learning a job or getting more education or anything like that, but it's just that life experience that you wouldn't get staying in your hometown like some people do. So whether my son does college or the military, long as he does something, he wants to
Right.
be cybersecurity. So that's already he has his career what he wants, and
Hmm.
he's following through. But long as he does something to get some life experience, because we as parents can only teach them so much.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. But I
I
will say this, though. College in the military is not for everybody. You have to, like
oh
I
no,
said,
it's
you
not.
have to make sure this is what you want to do because I know for myself, I would have straight been Private Benjamin. They would have been putting me out because I'm like, this, I'm not military cut out. I'm not, listen, I went into the academy. I was a 911 operator. And then I went into the police academy, did the agility test, went through all that stuff. And honestly, like I said, I got to a point where I was like, I don't want to be a police officer, right? In fact, I was doing it for somebody else, right? My mom worked for the police department, and I was like, you know what? My mom probably would be happy if I become a police or whatever. So, first of all, it wasn't even something I was doing for myself. Then, secondly, now listen, don't judge me. Don't come for me if I don't send for you. But at the time, man, I was emotionally unstable. I was like, they don't need to put no gun in my hand. I'm like,
Eh,
that's good. That's not, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, people need to really know that because, and just to not so much as shed a negative light on our conversation, but same thing. My daughter's ex-boyfriend, he went into the army. He was emotionally unstable, right? Doing I think after he got out of basic, TJ, he took a gun and shot himself in the head. You know what I'm saying?
hmm.
So it's like, and
Sorry to
killed
hear that.
himself. Like he's gone, right? And so I'm only saying this because we really do have to sit down with ourselves and really think about that plan that we have and make sure that we're doing stuff for us because it's our plan. And you said it, and I mean, you couldn't even said it any better. As a parent, there's no handbook. We can only give them the tools that we have, the tools that we know, and then they pick those tools up and build whatever they build from it.
Hmm. That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know what? Well, I knew we was gonna have some good conversation and stuff. And I'm like, you're a man after my own heart too. I was like, well, when you want to get the guy, he was like, wait, I mean, what you doing now? I was like, see, you my kind of guy. Why put off tomorrow what you can do today? You feel me?
Exactly.
Absolutely, y'all. Well, listen, I just introduced y'all to TJ. I introduced you to a little bit of conversation that we starting to have and everything. And I'm gonna go ahead and end the conversation for now. But I'm not ending the show. There's still the fact of the matter, and then there's still good music 24/7 here on DOD Radio Network, where this is the station for your best self, your best life. It's best radio. That part and say that.